who would crush us with their power and destroy us with their might, if with anything unto us. But the stars of fight, world union makes us strong.
Where's Gord Tanner and Patricia Mueller? Where's Gord Tanner and Patricia Mueller? Where's the site manager? Where's anybody to speak to anything towards an individualized housing plan or not kicking us out with police? Okay, so because no one knows anything towards a plan, but they're willing to put money towards enforcing, like with some kind of trespassers, right? Show us something on paper. Show us some evidence. Show us some proof. I'm not afraid to stand here in front of you. What are you here for? They called you. What did we do? What did we do to violate a law? I'm trespassing?
Yes.
How so?
Trespass property.
How so? How am I trespassing?
So lawful occupier.
Really? Really?
So you can let me finish?
No, because you know what? I'm part of the program. So while you think I'm trespassing, I'm part of the program and I'm asking questions.
So
these are supporters towards people who have been in the program?
So they're the lawful occupiers.
Okay, so what am I doing here then?
When they ask you,
what am I doing here?
You're trespassing.
Am I?
Yes.
So did anybody say I'm discharged because I'm part of the fucking program?
So if they ask you to leave.
No, they didn't. So when your assumption is wrong, then what?
So they're now asking.
When your assumption is wrong, then what? I see people getting kicked out and handed out with 4 police escorting them out when you say there's individualized housing plan. Your community safety team is not very community or safety.
That's not a part
yeah,
of
I know. You're here just to be a part of the government team instead of giving answers for the questions we're asking.
I don't.
Right? Everyone here is a stakeholder. Our freedom's at stake. We're asking questions. What are you doing aside from being an enforcer?
We're not a part of that program.
You are, because you're standing here saying I'm trespassing and I'm a part of the program.
You try.
Not if they're.
So if I'm asking questions towards how my friends and roommates and neighbors are being relocated, and when I'm watching it, because we can tweet
That's
how
something
you
you
guys,
have to take up with the city of Toronto,
something
not
we
me.
have to take up instead of you providing answers for the site we're on immediately now. Right? Don't give us excuses. We're here and we're stakeholders. Our lives are at stake while you're making profit. We're asking where you put us. You took us from the street, put us in here, and then you're kicking us back out to the street.
Again,
Where's your relocation plan? It's not. You're a part of it because you're just a yes man. You're a part of it. So what is the plan? You're here allowed to talk the words that there's a plan. What is the plan?
You're making a lot of money to be here. What's the
Gord Tanner?
No, it's not.
Gord Tanner?
What I do.
Doesn't sound like anybody knows the answer, but wants to authoritarian everything, right?
No, that's it. I don't.
What is the relocation plan for everybody? So when you put people outside and they come back after 2 days to get their belongings and they find out they're stolen, nobody wants to look into it. Police, security, anything down the tree. What is your relocation plan? What is going to give people the confidence that you rake them out?
Again,
I'm not hearing answers. I'm hearing excuses.
I don't have answers.
Yeah, exactly. Excuses. Excuses. You're here to back it. So what do you have? Because you're very sure that you're not a part of the plan, but you're sitting here being a part of the plan.
I just got here.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. It's a laugh for them. Are we being observant to what's actually happening? I live here and I can't get questions answered. What does that mean for anybody else in the rainbow? Guess what? Even after this is done, I'll probably get discharged for inciting a public situation. But the answers never came. What's happening towards our plans individualized? Why are police exiting people from a building after you told them you'd house them? Wait, they're putting on their gloves. Do you know what that means?
No.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
You are still currently resident.
No.
Everyone else who is not a resident has to leave.
These people have serious complaints. You can solve them, and you just talk.
House us so we don't plague the streets as you advertise.
People are dying.
People are dying. Every day. I've had one friend a month die, to my knowledge. Gord Tanner and Patricia Mueller. Gord Tanner and Patricia Mueller, because I've already been to their office and they lied. So we're here on site where you guys are doing the violations. No, I'm not done. Where you guys are doing the violations. Oh, it's all good. I know. It's all good. You do violations every day. It's all good. belongs here. You're trespassing. We're going to ask you politely. You're going to ask to leave. You're going to leave politely. If not, you're going to get arrested for trespassing. Please. Exit the premise, else you'll be escorted out, okay? Come on, let's go. Let's go. We're not here.
You can stand on the sidewalk all you like,
brother, okay?
If you
You want to talk to them, you can talk outside. Actually, they have every right to be here. The charter can. We're not going to have that debate. It's not public property. It's a private facility. Would you like some help, sir?
Outside, please. Outside.
I'm good with that.
As you don't leave, it's time to go. Okay?
Nobody here is doing a criminal thing. Nobody's doing anything criminal. They're asking questions. Shame. Shame on the police and the policemen. They're leaving. Oh, here we go. Here goes a $300,000 at least into the door, and none of it is to house you. It's to bully you. They're trying to fight for us to get housing. And they're trying to get the management and the SSHA officers to ask questions. Shame!
Tell me about what's going on here today.
Well, you know, the city got this hotel specifically to tell people that it was justified in clearing everybody out of the parks violently last summer, a year and a half ago. And people ended up coming here. There were up to 250 residents. There's now less than around 50. They've evicted 200 people, some with 72-hour notice, some with less than that. Last week at this time, police dragged a woman out very violently when she said she wanted housing. She didn't want to be evicted like that. They had offered her to go to 545 Lakeshore, which is a big congregate shelter, tons of people. It's not safe. They've crowded beds closer together, which is, you know, COVID's still on. There's other diseases going around. So we came out today in solidarity with residents who spoke up. They were ones primarily at the mic. I know you got them. And they're the ones that can frame this thing best. But the basic thing is there's not housing, there's not shelter in this city. It's one of the very richest city in world history. And you know, how we treat people like this says a lot about our city. That's what I'm convinced of as a pastor. That's what I think everybody who has a self-respect should consider a basic norm of our society. Is how we treat people who are in the worst situations says a lot about us. And what we saw today was that they send people with guns, they send people to drag out people who are screaming, who are not harming anybody, and they're doing this in order to, allow this hotel to turn a better profit, to allow the neighbors to not have to look at poverty anymore. You know, we say we have police for things like sexual assault, but dozens and dozens of women across these shelter systems have reported rapes, have reported that the whole system that they have here, where dozens and dozens of staff have keys, master keys to all the bedrooms, is unsafe. The police don't show up in force like this for rape. That's why we're supposed to have police. You know, what they do is they show up in force to protect the mayor's interest, to protect the city manager's interest, to protect the hotel owner's interest. They don't show up about the things that we say we hire police for. It was disgusting. I saw good friends of mine being treated like rag dolls. I'm glad they're okay. I'm glad that there are no serious injuries. I'm glad that they were released on the scene. But that kind of violence is inexcusable. It's inappropriate, and it says a lot about who we are. 50 or 60 people all told. 30 to 35 went inside to the lobby demanding to speak to Gord Tanner, the head of Shelter Support and Housing Administration, and Patricia Mueller, the head of Homes First that runs this hotel. On behalf of the city, gets millions and millions of dollars every year from the city to do shelter programming like this, and then feeds people cheese sandwiches with it. And we wanted to speak with them. There was a whole list of demands that the residents had. And so about 35 of us went inside while residents got on the mic and presented those. Some, for obvious reasons with the police violence, were not wanting to be on the inside. So there was another mic set up out here, and media were able to interview a lot of residents about their experiences here, about what it means to be evicted, what it means to be facing the looming threat of being back out on the streets when they know that the city will show up with just these kind of police to kick people out of encampments.
When Dreads was speaking to the red-haired officer when this confrontation started about an hour ago, he mentioned to the cop, like, what are we going to do? You're throwing us out. The cop made a remark back to him, something along the lines of, just relax, you're just going to be put into another shelter anyway. Is there truth to that? And how do you feel about that officer's sensitivity surrounding the subject?
Yeah, he doesn't know his head from his ass. And if he does, then he's a really terrible human being, because the reality is that hundreds of people are turned away every week and told there's no room in the inn. There's no shelter. We've done videos on this before. It's only gotten worse since we did that video 2 or 3 years ago. And the most recent numbers show that night after night, over 100 people call and try and get shelter space, and there is no room. We're heading into December. Many people throughout the world celebrate Christmas during that time. And remember a poor Palestinian child who was told there was no room in the inn, and that's what's happening here. That's what's happening here night after night in this city. We tell people there's no room in the inn, and then when they say, well, where can we sleep if we can't sleep in tents? Where can we sleep if we're getting thrown out of shelter hotels? Where can we sleep? And the answer is nowhere. No one has an answer for where people are allowed to sleep. They want people to just get wrecked and get in the sea. I think that's the only answer that the city would find acceptable.